fucking go!
Presented by our friends over at Bet365, where if you want to go, you can bet $10, get $200 in bonus bets right in your account. It's a great deal. I'm Henry Chisholm, joined by Ryan Koenigsberg and Super Bowl 50 champion Benny Fowler.
Let's go!
Let's go!
Let's go!
Benny, does it feel like a playoff game to you?
Definitely feels like a playoff game. The energy, the atmosphere is here. Broncos country is already showing out. It is going to be electric in there today.
I can't wait. I haven't felt energy like this in a long time, man.
10 years.
Yeah, 10 years.
Something special is about to happen. I can feel it.
It's a shame that the tickets are so tough to get, but it means that only the real diehards wind up buying the tickets.
Well, Hank, all you got to do is ask me, bro.
Well, I know, but somebody has to do some work. Ryan's going to the game. You guys, somebody has to go back to the bar, watch along, post-game show.
I'm going with you.
I know. We have the two of us today. Ryan's going to the game. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah. Someone's got to do it, you know?
How excited are you?
I'm so excited, man. It actually hit me this week that I've never been to a Broncos playoff game.
Really? No.
In your
I've
life?
been to a lot of big games. I've never been to a Broncos playoff game, so this will be my first, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait. It is going to be so loud, so electric, and I talked about this earlier this week on the show. Like, the Bills have played in big games on the road, for sure, in the playoffs, but it's been a while since they played against a fan base that will be as hungry and as desperate to win as this one is. And so I think they're going to see a different level of crowd noise, different level of atmosphere in here than they're used to these last couple of years going to KC.
Well, probably a little bit different than last week.
Definitely.
For sure
I was
different than last
surprised by
week.
how well the Jags fans showed up. They showed up well for a small market team.
Bills
But
fans
this is
kind of took
different.
it over, though.
There were definitely cheers when the Bills were scoring.
Yeah.
This will definitely be different. This will be, I will say, I would compare it to a Kansas City crowd. I mean, Kansas City is probably it's the loudest stadium that I played in. And, the Buffalo, Kansas City rivalry is, similar to Peyton and Tom. So I would say that they will be used to this type of crowd noise, but Broncos fans will be on their feet, I would say, the entire game. And I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's coming down to the end. It's coming down to the wire. It's going to be interesting to see. But I know Broncos fans are going to be super electric the entire time.
Yeah. And what's it like playing in an environment like that?
It's kind of crazy. I mean, when you go back to the divisional round, my second year in the league, we played Pittsburgh at home, and we thought that it was going to be a pretty easy game because Antonio Brown wasn't playing. He had got knocked out the week before. And we kind of overlooked Pittsburgh a little bit because we knew we were going to have to play New England the following week. And we came out flat, very flat in that first half. We dropped a couple passes. It was windy. It was cold. And then we ended up coming back in the second half and ended up winning that game. And we had to have some incredible defensive plays and offensive plays. If you remember Peyton, dropping back and then basically take a sack, but they didn't blow the whistle, and he threw that pass to Emmanuel Sanders, and we were able to keep those things going. But, yeah, I remember it was a crazy game. The emotion will be high this entire game. Well, not this entire game, but for those first couple series. The Broncos have to make sure that they weather the storm emotionally. Because once the emotion dies down, then it becomes football, and you are the better football team. But emotion, as you could see last week on those first couple of drives, that is what dictated some of those games and early scores. So that's what I would say. Emotion, control your emotion these first couple series.
Do you remember being out there being like, oh, shit, like it's louder? It's like this is like another level.
Yeah, it's definitely a different level. When you play in a playoff game, the speed is crazy out there, and just playing at home in front of these fans who know ball and love ball, it was kind of crazy. And then you had which could be Peyton's last, playoff series. There was just a lot of emotion. There were so many different things going on. But, yeah, it was crazy, and it was incredible. I had never felt anything like that. And then when we played New England the following week, it was even crazier.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the optics of it, too. Like, this stadium is just built for that. Like, the orange just pops. You got the towels up there for the playoff games. Like, the way they cut back, and we've seen the clips all week on the internet all over the place, that 2015 AFC Championship game, when they cut to the stadium, it's just bright orange everywhere. It's incredible. What's it like just looking up and seeing, like, oh, this is different? They put the towels out there.
I mean, as a player, it's you notice that, but I mean, at the same time, I'm getting ready to run down on kickoff. I'm not thinking about any of the orange right there. So you see it when you run out of the tunnel for the introductions, but other than that, then you are on to the opponent. And then I remember talking so much shit to Matthew Slater and like getting into it with anybody and everybody during the game. It's like You and Akeem talked about it on the No Lie Zone. What he said to Julian Edelman, he was like, "Oh, my bad." Like, it brings out a different mentality of you. It's like win or go home. Like, I was willing to do anything to win those types of games, and obviously our team was as well.
You mentioned the fans knowing ball, and our fans absolutely know ball. But just in case anyone missed Sean Payton's message this week, he wants the fans to be loudest when the Bills are in the huddle. Normally, it's instinct to be loudest right before they snap the
Get
ball.
excited.
Exactly. But Sean has he's coaching us now too. It's not just the team. He's coaching us. So loudest when they're in the huddle, so they can't hear Josh Allen call those plays.
Can we need to let Sean know? Well, I love that Sean is coaching up Broncos country, but let Sean know that we've been to plenty of Super Bowls and we've had plenty of home playoff games. Like, they know what they're doing.
But that's kind of I agree. But that's kind of a different request. Like, I've never heard a coach talk about that before.
Which bothers me a little bit.
Yeah.
Why are you coaching up the fans?
Because
They know what's up.
No, he wants the control of everything.
Exactly.
The fans, the video board,
Yeah.
the players, who's employed around the office. Like, Sean, he's maniacal.
Hey, we ain't new to this. We true to this.
Facts.
Facts. Let's get into some of the notes for today. Injury report for the Broncos is short. Sounds like they're going to have everybody except for the couple guys off of IR who they haven't had for weeks now. But the Broncos did make a couple of moves yesterday.
Yeah.
Couple of moves that caught a lot of people's eyes because neither of them were expected. So, Caleb Lohner, who's been on the practice squad all year, your 7th-round draft pick, was elevated from the practice squad for this game. So for those of you who don't know Caleb Lohner because he hasn't played a game as a Bronco before, he's not a football player, he's a basketball player. Played 2 years at BYU, transferred to Baylor, was a great player at Baylor on some great teams. Final year, transfers to Utah where he starts playing football as a 6'8" power forward at tight end. 4 catches at Utah, all 4 of them touchdowns. He's just a straight-up red zone threat. Now, we don't know that he's actually playing today because it could just be the mind games. But by elevating him from the practice squad, they get to decide today, an hour before kickoff, do we give him a jersey or not? So, Benny, my question to you, is this just a mind game from Sean Payton to make the Bills coaching staff spend the last 24 hours leading up to kickoff thinking, how do we defend the 6'8" power forward? Or is he actually somebody who could be useful in a game like this?
I think somebody who can be useful. I think about field goal block. If the game comes down to a field goal, you bring somebody in like that on field goal block. But then also, if you put him in, he has a special package where Caleb actually goes down there in the red zone. He gives you that threat. Okay, hey, they go from a tight formation to an explode formation where it's an empty set formation. He is singled up backside. It just gives you a man zone read when you have somebody like that in the red zone. So I don't expect him to catch any passes, but I am going to go to Bet365 and put him as an anytime
Plus
touchdown.
800 is the number
anytime
there.
touchdown for Caleb Lohner. So
if he catches a pass, it's going to be a touchdown.
That means that they think like it's a possibility. And we're talking about a guy who's never set foot on an NFL field. They're putting him only at plus 800.
A man who only had 4 catches in college football.
Yeah. I know this guy from experience because he came in and played against the Buffs last year.
Right.
We had a big 6'2" corner, super long arms, everything. He ran into the end zone, turned right around, boxed him out like he was getting a rebound, and DJ McKinney had no chance of breaking that thing up. So his size and athleticism is for real. I mean, his dunk tape is kind of crazy.
No, when I wrote the film room when they drafted him, it was all just basketball highlights.
Yes.
Because he never played any football.
He's bouncy as hell.
Yeah, the putback dunks, 2 hands, unbelievable.
if they throw him a pass today, that is going to be insane. Even if he just gets a
So
target,
Sean.
that's going to
Right.
be crazy.
It has to be a mind game.
Well,
I feel like.
who doesn't dress if he plays?
That's the tough part, is you only get 46 uniforms. 47 today, because you remember a couple weeks ago they moved Sam Ehlinger, the third-string quarterback from the practice squad, to the active roster. He gets a free uniform. But no, I just can't see, because he's never tackled before. Like, you're not putting him on special teams for this
No.
game. And so I don't know how you
They might just be
justify
doing it just to give him a check. Maybe he's
Right.
busting his ass
and
all
to
year.
make the Bills spend 24 hours thinking,
Are
what
they
do we
gonna-
do?
Yeah.
They're not thinking about that.
They should. Then they motivate him. They got to think about it.
Everybody on the roster, on Broncos roster, has already been thought about. So they know exactly what Caleb Lohner can do. So, like, if they elevate him, they know the background. Similar to, you saw what San Francisco did. This is Philly's mistake, but San Francisco ran that reverse pass with Jawan Jennings, who was a incredible high school quarterback. We know things like that going in. So, like, if they get the news a couple days ago or yesterday that Caleb might play, and it's already in the scouting report to the defense, like, hey, this is what this guy is. He hasn't caught a pass all year. So, no, I mean, they're not going to spend 24 hours. They know everybody's history.
And then similar news, they also elevated Elijah Moore, the receiver who started his year at the Jets, didn't go well because against the Jets he was playing with Nathan Peterman. No, I don't even know who the quarterback would have been. But 34th pick, early second rounder in the Jerry Jeudy draft. Speedy little shifty
Well, he was
guy.
with Darnold.
Would have been Darnold. Would have been bad Darnold, to
Yes.
be clear.
Yes.
Probably even worse than no oblique Darnold. But yeah, so he also is elevated. At one point had like almost 700 yards in the season. Any chance that he gets a uniform today?
Yeah, who would you not dress, though?
That's
I mean,
the tough
you
part.
know, like, I don't see it. But, yeah, I mean, if you can dress 6 receivers. It's different than Caleb's situation to me if you wanted to dress an extra guy. But I believe it's just more so, you know, I think
Rewarding
that
him.
might be, rewarding him, but then also a little mind game thing. You know, I don't know. That it doesn't make any sense to me because all your receivers are healthy.
Well, have you heard the Bills fan theory about this?
No.
They believe that Elijah Moore is being elevated as a reward for giving the Broncos all of the intel on the Buffalo Bills, whom he started this season with.
And I didn't have a chance to talk to Elijah this week, but Christo Mason, our good friend from the Denver Gazette, did talk to him, and he said, yeah, I've been telling the Broncos everything I know about the Bills. Like, of course. What do you think? Why would I hold anything back?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think but that doesn't really work. You know,
There's only something right.
Yep.
this is going to be a signal game for the Denver. I mean, Elijah Moore would have to be on defense for this to really work and to really understand. So, like, yeah, you can give him all the information, and I've been a player in that situation before. I got cut by the New York Giants, signed by the Patriots, who the Giants were playing, and I had known the offense, but, like, you can only tell them so much. I can tell you all the plays, but you also have the film. Like,
Right,
you know how they're lining up. It is what it is at that point in
But
time.
like hand signals, that probably forces the Bills to have to change those up this week.
Yeah, but you would have to be so on it as a defender for me to give you the 45 hand signals that they have.
Right.
You know,
But
I
you've
could give
told
you
us a couple. Like, even you have said like, oh, like if he does this, that usually means this.
Like, if it's
But, like,
smash, what's the hand signal?
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, there you go.
But
smash.
what if they go bozo and then they run corner pump?
Right,
That's
right.
that's where you can get got. So
Yeah.
like the Bills will use that to the advantage too. It's like, oh hey, we got fade right here,
Yep.
here, but then we got fade, come back. Like
Right.
you know, it could also hamper you.
Yes. That is also similar news from a few weeks ago. Broncos cut Trent Sherfield, who's special teams receiver. Patriots this week sign him to their practice squad.
Typical Patriots move.
Exactly, because there's a chance you play the Broncos next week, and so you get the guy in the building, give him a couple checks, and get all the answers.
It won't be able to help. That's why Sean Payton has those 60 personnels that he uses. It's like, yeah, he can tell you the personnels that he had the plays on, but you know what else he's going to be able to tell you? Everybody runs the same things. It's how you execute, and that's why you have such an elite play caller in Sean Payton.
Yep.
So it won't really matter what Trent Sherfield does as well.
Absolutely. More notes. We'll get into the injury report for the Bills in a second. It's going to take some time. Real quick, a good note, the weather. Ryan, can you give us a weather report?
Weather report. There's literally 0 clouds in the sky, which is pretty
Right.
incredible. It
Yep.
is. I would call it politely chilly.
Politely chilly.
Yes. Like
Yeah,
it's not
no, no,
offensive.
No.
But
It's
like,
not a
oh,
scuba
it's a little
game.
chilly, but it's like the chill is just like patting you on the back. Politely.
Politely. Polite chill.
No scuba gear game. This
Nope.
is, you know,
Nope.
you wear your normal stuff this game as a player.
Broncos haven't played in weather like this yet.
I know this is going to be their coldest
Which is
game all
crazy.
year.
I think the coldest game up to this point was the Sunday night game.
In DC. Yeah.
Right, where it was a little windy. I think it was under 60 degrees, but probably not by all that much.
Yeah.
What's it like getting thrown into a cold environment at this point?
I think it's a little bit different for these guys because they haven't played a cold game all year. When I think about the cold games that I played in Denver, like, you know, it didn't really matter. We played cold games throughout the entire year. Like,
Right.
I mean, Chicago was freezing. It was 10 degrees outside. You know, we had the snow game here against the Patriots. So we had played a ton of cold games. I am
Well,
a
you
little
played
worried
cold
about
games
that.
your whole life.
Yeah, so yeah,
Right.
you know, going to Michigan State.
Michigan,
I am a
yeah.
little worried about that though for the pass catchers. So I think that might be, you know, it is, you know, your hands do get cold out there. So Bo's got to take a little bit of heat off the ball.
Bills injury report. Let's see. This is yeah. So big news. Ed Oliver is back, and maybe we start right there. So Bills, one of the worst run defenses in the entire NFL. Part of the reason they don't have maybe their best defender in Ed Oliver, who got hurt week 3, is back from injured reserve for this game. Sounds like he will play. How much of a difference is that? And I guess you also expect Curtis Samuel back, also expect DeMar Hamlin back. DeMar Hamlin, though, is a replacement for Jordan Poyer, who's another box safety. Jordan Poyer, I think an all-pro at some point.
Yep.
Much better player than DeMar Hamlin, so it's still a downgrade for them there.
I mean, Ed Oliver being back is a huge deal.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody who has been a good player, I wouldn't say great player, but been a really good player throughout his entire career. Somebody in the first 3 games, he had 3 sacks. I think he just the emotion of him being out there, I think is something, but also he hasn't been hit. There hasn't been any physicality for him in the last 12 weeks. If I'm the Broncos, I try to test him out. And do you have these dual blocks, these double team blocks on Ed Oliver to really test, is he really back? He had the knee scope and then he had the bicep injury. So, him coming back later in the season, yeah, he's an incredible player, but he hasn't played or hit anyone. I mean, so.
Also, you combine not being in game shape with coming to altitude with the extra adrenaline of playing in a playoff game.
Right.
I have to imagine he's going to be on a pretty significant snap count.
Yeah, you would think. The kicker here for the Broncos, though, they're only down 3 starters, which is crazy at this point in the season. One of them is Luke Wattenberg, though, your starting center. You're going to have a pretty tough matchup there with Alex Forsythe and Ed Oliver.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, Luke Wattenberg not being out there, I think, is a big deal, especially with all of the things that the Buffalo front presents, more so on passing downs. So it's going to be interesting to see, but I know Sean's had 2 weeks to plan for this, so, it'll be all good.
Yep. A couple other notes on the injury side from the Bills. Sounds like Shaq Thompson will play. He popped up middle of the week with a neck injury. Something must have happened in practice. He's in.
A little crook in the neck.
I guess. Never happened to me during football practice, but I didn't play football past 8th grade. Terrell Bernard.
Test him early, see which way he doesn't want to turn.
Right.
Toradol's
Scout
got you.
which way is he looking?
He'll be
Yes,
like this.
Exactly.
In the morning, he'll be like,
Terrell Bernard, another linebacker, is questionable. He could be back from injury. Might not matter quite so much if you have Shaq Thompson healthy because you still have Matt Milano in there. Other than that, though, the vibes are pretty good for all the rest of the Bills guys. Maybe a couple not so notable questionables, but shouldn't be that big of a deal. All right. We got more to talk about today. Before we do that,
I
though.
think them elevating McCall Hardman.
Okay.
Should watch out for that.
Right.
And Keon Coleman, former Michigan State receiver.
Your guy.
Look, he hasn't.
I don't think he wants to claim him as his guy.
Yeah, definitely don't. But he hasn't played up to par. But he will get the ball
He's
today.
a big, fast guy.
And McDonald's All-American basketball player, incredible football player. They will give him some jump ball opportunities against a guy like Riley Moss. So, I don't think people should sleep on him. Going back to that Pittsburgh Broncos game in 2015, look, we knew Martavius Bryant was good, but he went off against us in that game.
He did. Real quick, want to give a shout out to the presenting sponsor of this show, Bet365. They've got an awesome promotion going on today. All you need for the bet to hit is 1 passing yard in this football game. Benny, what are the odds that there is at least 1 passing yard in this game?
Odds are pretty high.
Pretty high. I would agree.
It's
pretty high.
the first ever guarantee Hank's made on the show.
Yeah, never made a guarantee before. It's not really my place, but that one, I will
Charles
guarantee
Barkley
it.
guarantee?
Oh,
Can you say
basically.
it? Can you say it?
Guarantee.
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 Guaranteed.
Ooh,
Wallace?
throwback.
Wow, I don't remember that one.
Sorry, too young.
Bet365, though, all sorts of different perks when you sign up, including if you deposit $10, place a bet for $5, you get $200 in bonus bets that you can use on any sort of bets you want. Use the code DNVR365 when you sign up. Bonus bets can be used if your bet wins or loses, spread, totals, player props, futures, whatever you want, whatever the moment. It's never ordinary. Bet365 must be 21 or older, physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or somebody you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. Also want to give a quick shout out to another friend of ours, STK Steakhouse. They've got, I get this Instagram ad a lot, which, Instagram ads say a lot about a person, like what they're interested in. STK
Careful,
Steakhouse, they've got a $3, $6, $9 happy hour. I know. That's why it shows up in my feed. They have all sorts of different cheap food, which is right up my alley. It's Sunday and Thursday, 2:30 to 6:30, and 9 p.m. to close. Friday and Saturday, 2:30 to 5:30. They're open late on game days for all the teams around town. 3-course meal with a glass of wine, $69. bunch of different perks. They're open on holidays. They even have features for Valentine's Day. They'll be going for a week around then. Make a reservation. Learn more at stksteakhouse.com.
Let's go. Should be a steak dinner kind of night after this.
Yeah, 3 courses. Real quick, want to ask you guys your keys to the game. We'll start with you, Benny. What's the key to the game for the Broncos?
Oh, man, keys to the game. Well, number one, I think this is a Sean Payton type of game. Look, you got a young team coming in here. Bo Nix, take the pressure off of him. I think really the first 15 plays, talk to Bo and ask him what his favorite plays are, where you can actually find completions early on in the game, right when you get the ball. Do not try to come out with a deep cross pass or a pass down the field. Obviously, you did that last year against Buffalo with the Troy Franklin touchdown. But I think playing at home in a playoff game, different type of pressure. It's not a us against the world. It's going to be tense in there because Broncos country wants to win. Obviously, these guys want to win. But I think really making Bo comfortable on the first 15 plays of the game, plays that he loves, call those plays and get him into a rhythm.
Yeah, Brian?
I'm going to call it 32.5. Over 32.5 rushing attempts in this game, the Broncos are going to win the football game.
Okay. It includes Bo.
And
right?
that does include Bo,
Okay.
and I would love for Bo to take like 8 of those, to be honest.
Yeah.
But this is Sean Payton having to dig deep and stay disciplined and listen to the note that he writes on the top of his play sheet every single week, which is run it. The Bills' run defense is not good. It's especially not good in the areas where Sean Payton likes to run the ball, which is to the outsides. And so this is one of those ones where it's like, okay, you might run it on first and it'll be 2nd and 9, and it'll take everything in Sean Payton to call sweep. But call sweep and get this, run yards per carry average up around 4.7 or higher. And you're going to win this football game. Get Bo into easy third downs.
You have that much confidence in the running game, even though the fact that they haven't really ran the ball that well all year.
I do. I think it's a matchup that favors us, even though we haven't run the ball that great. We have run the ball pretty well to the outsides when we've gotten out there, especially RJ. And then all 3 of us agree on it. You got to get Jaleel McLaughlin more involved. And I think you should give him 15 carries in this game.
I'm with you on that. But when I think about, what we're saying up here in Buffalo having a bad run defense, they only have to play well today. Like the regular season doesn't really matter. And Arcade, this is to your point. Can Sean actually stick with it? Even if you go down 7,
Yep.
Will you stick with the run?
Down
if you
10.
go down 10, will you stick with the run? And I think that's why I really put this game on Sean Payton. Like, if you are who you say you are, which we believe and we've already seen over the last 3 years, like this is a game where you have to outcoach Sean McDermott. I'm not putting anything on Bo today. This is your first home playoff game. Like it's a difficult task.
Yep, and if you run the ball, it makes it a lot easier. I think most of my biggest questions about this game come on the ground. Watching the Bills play the Jags last week, the Jags hit a couple of early runs, outside zones, and because of that, the defensive line starts over pursuing. They're out of their gaps. They're missing their assignments, and when that starts happening, then the linebackers don't stick to their assignments because they feel like they have to cover for the defensive line because the defensive line's getting beat, and next thing you know, it's just chaos for that defense. And so the Jags start running those, the fake jet sweep one way, toss back the other, pulling guys so that it looks like the run's going to a different place. And the Bills' defense is just all out of sorts in that game because they weren't sticking to their assignments. And I think because of that, the Broncos have the opportunity to do something similar. Hit Marvin Mims with an early jet sweep. See if he picks something up, but if not, they're respecting that the rest of the game. They're scared of that the rest of the game. I think all the different creative things that Sean Payton can do in the run game fit perfectly into this matchup because you just want to get that front 7 for the Bills all twisted up like they were last week because they were just not confident in anything that they did.
100%. Also with the running game, although it is on Sean to call these runs and execute them, it's going to be on R.J. Harvey and Jaleel to make people miss and break tackles. Those Jaguars running backs make people miss.
They do.
And then they break tackles. ETN is a hard runner. And I think, it's one thing to call the run, but hey, if we're only getting 2 yards a pop, RJ, you're not making anybody miss. How do I have confidence to continue to keep doing this?
Yeah, I'll throw one in there. To me, key of the game is the red zone. I think the Broncos have the number 1 red zone defense in the NFL. Bills have the number 3 red zone offense. It's just tough to stop the Bills when they get down there. Because as a last resort, you can always say, hey, we're going empty. And you're not going to be able to stop Josh Allen from just running up the middle. So you have to leave your resources inside, opens things up on the boundary.
Watch those little pop passes, any
Right.
of these situations where you line up in these quarterback run situations and then the tight end leaks out. I mean, there's so much to account for when he's down there.
Yeah. But overall, to me, this game's just a street fight. Like, this is just going to be blow for blow. Who's going to be more physical? Who wants it more? And when you look at the way the Bills play, like, that's not a fast football team. Like,
Nope.
that offense, they don't have much. Like, James Cook fast. Outside of that, they want to win on their physicality. Same thing on defense. That's not a fast defense. They want to win on their physicality. And I think the Broncos see that as somewhat of a test, a challenge to say, hey, we can be just as physical. And I think you're going to see it right from the jump. It's just going to be, we're going to hit you harder than you hit us. We're going to push you backward more than you push us backward. And I think that's going to make this a pretty special football game to watch.
It's going to be a street fight, but then also it's going to be a chess match in terms of McDermott and Joe Brady versus Sean and Vance. Look, we saw the last couple weeks of the season. It wasn't exciting for Broncos country in terms of the scores, but Sean was very methodical in his play calling. Let's put together these 12 to 14 play drives because the way you beat Josh Allen is by keeping him on the sideline. In reverse, though, Buffalo, I believe, will be trying to do the same thing. They have long drives, 12 to 13 plays, where now if they do get 7, Broncos feel like, oh, hey, we got to score because there's only 6 minutes left in the first quarter.
Right.
So it is going to be an interesting chess match. Special teams, though. Marvin Mims, obviously, top returner in the league.
Yep.
Their kickoff return, they got the most 40-yard kickoff returns, and they got one for a touchdown. So it's going to be interesting. Special teams will play a huge factor in today's game.
Yeah. I mean, Bills have the number 1 kick returner by the numbers in football. What happened last week? He fumbled.
Yep.
So if you can get that guy to fumble, that's huge for the Broncos. If he winds up with a big return.
Tackle him. Don't just.
I've got a good feeling about a Marvin Mims punt return.
That's
To the crib?
Yeah.
be incredible. Could you imagine that place today? Okay, before we get out of here, got to give you guys pregame picks from Bet365. 5 rush attempts for Jaleel McLaughlin, minus 130.
For sure.
Line
Yeah.
set pretty low. I think
him-
you got to feed him.
I've got him over 60 yards, which is like plus 450.
Yeah, see, I'm trying not to be too aggressive today. Broncos just to win, minus 115. Open the week as an underdog. End the week, slight favorite. Line was going back and forth. I think the Broncos get it done today. I think we all do. And then finally, 25 completions for Bo Nix, plus 300. I think that when the Broncos throw the ball, it's going to be taking what the defense gives them underneath. I think that there are a couple different ways the Bills could defend the Broncos today. I think one of the possibilities is they load up the box and they try to stop the run. They try to keep the shell over the top so that they don't give up explosives, and you wind up seeing Bo just hitting quick little speed outs, a couple little slants. I think it's a high volume day in terms of completions. Yards, maybe not so much.
Man, if he's got to throw the ball that much, I don't like that.
Yeah, that's fair. I
Because if
feel
he's
that.
throwing 25 times,
8 on a 2-minute drill before halftime.
you mean 25 for 30. If he gets into that 35 category, that means you're losing.
Okay. We'll see how it goes. Any final thoughts before we get out of here?
I got 2 final thoughts. One, I want to give a shout out to some longtime listeners of ours who are here all the way from Australia, which is pretty awesome. So let's
Yep.
give a round of applause
Australia,
for that. Shout out to the
Germany.
Starks. And then finally, before we go, can I just get a little "Let's go Broncos"? Let's go Broncos.
Sounds good. I
Sounds
can't
great.
wait. We'll be live on the watch along for the entire game. We'll be live for post-game show, hopefully an extended post-game show. We just get to hang out up there for a few hours. Well, see you guys on the other side.
God bless Bo Nix.
We all silly like the mayor.